Welcome to Fan for Racing Radio. I'm Fan for Racing Sharon, and joining me today is Jay Huseman, and we are here to do the Dover preview for the ARCA East Series this weekend. Their race is on Friday night, Jay, and it's going to be exciting. I love the combination events.
I do. The question, though, is, are you afraid of a monster? Because it's Dover. The Monster Miles. This is one of the tracks where, honestly, they talk about you got to race the track first, not your competition. Once you get a handle on the track, then you worry about where you are against your competition.
Exactly. It is that kind of track. And, that's important for the drivers as they go into that. I'm sure they've been told that a number of times in coaching and everything. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the General Tire 150 at Dover Motor Speedway on July the 18th. That is Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. It will be televised, yay, on Fox Sports 1 live, and it'll also be available on MRN radio as well. And it will be live. So have you had a chance to look at the entry list, Jay?
Yeah, for the ARCA Menards Series, as you mentioned, it is a combination event. We do have a couple of different ones that'll be interesting to watch. I'm more excited, some of the ones being there in the same location, also in the Xfinity, but we'll get to that. So a lot of seat time here, and I think it's really great for these drivers on the track of Dover. Like I said, Dover is one of those takes some time to master for most drivers. Anyway, we'll say that. And how it handles it concrete, yeah, it's going to be interesting. And I think the ARCA Menards Series here, now take that separate. Not only do you have the track, but it is that combination East and Main Series. I think it's going to be really interesting.
I do believe you are right. Do you want to go ahead and start our bullet points here?
The ARCA Menards Series and the ARCA Menards Series East will compete together in that full points combination event. The General Tire 150 begin Friday night at Dover Motor Speedway. The race does then pay full points to both series, and the winner will be credited with a victory for both series.
So the race will be the second ARCA Menards Series race at Dover Motor Speedway, and the 35th for the ARCA Menards Series East. That dates back to the series' first season, going to 1987.
And one of the main drivers on that entry list, as we knew it would be, Brenden Butterbean Queen, is in the number 28 BestRepair.net Chevrolet, is leading the ARCA Menards Series Championship standings into this 10th race of the 2025 season. Queen has won 3 times so far this season: Daytona International Speedway, Kansas Speedway, and Michigan International Speedway. Leads the standings by 9 points over second place Lawless Allen. Allen's in the number 20 Auto Park at Toyota. And then he's 17 points over third place Lavar Scott. Scott's in the number 6 Max Siegel Incorporated Chevrolet.
Okay, Queen and Allen will be making their first start of any kind at Dover, and Scott has made 2 previous starts at Dover. He led 4 laps and finished 5th in a standalone East race in 2023 and finished 4th in 2024. So those are your top 3 drivers in the point standings.
And I'll come back. We'll talk a little bit more about that a little later on. But right now, talking about Scott, he's one of those I mentioned is making his NASCAR Xfinity Series debut on Saturday, as he'll drive an entry in the Xfinity Series fielded by Alpha Prime Racing.
And 16-year-old Isaac Kitzmiller in the number 79 ALL Construction Chevrolet leads the ARCA Menards Series East standings into the 5th race of the 8 scheduled in 2025. Kitzmiller leads by 6 points over Tyler Reif in the number 23 Vegas Fasteners Sigma Performance Services Chevrolet.
Now, Kitzmiller and Reif also will be making their first Dover start. They both raced earlier this season at the 1 mile Rockingham Speedway, where Kitzmiller finished 6th and Reif was 17th. I don't know that you can compare a whole lot of other than 1 mile track between Dover and Rockingham.
That's true. Okay, Jake Finch, she's in that number 25 Phoenix Toyota and is making his first ARCA Menards Series appearance since he finished 7th at Talladega Superspeedway back in April. Finch is a former winner at Dover, winning the standalone East race there in 2023. Ooh, that could make him a contender this week.
Yeah, I say when we talk more about the entry list and the points, we'll talk about that. I got some thoughts there. Talk about monsters, though. We got a monster truck driver. Camden Murphy is going to be in the number 70 Dreamer Toyota. He'll be making his first ARCA Menards Series start driving for Nitro Motorsports. Monster Jam Cam, as he's known to monster truck fans, has 29 career Craftsman Truck Series starts and 7 Xfinity Series starts. His 2 previous truck starts at Dover, coming in 2017 and 18, had a best finish of 29th, and that was in 2018.
Also, Timmy Hill is back. He's in that number 56 Hill Motorsports Toyota, and he's making his first East start since a crash at Rockingham Speedway. That sidelined the team while his car was being rebuilt. So it's good to see Timmy Hill back behind the wheel.
That's one of those, we talk about teams that have multiple backup cars. You're talking about a team that has a car. So that was tough when we heard that story for Timmy Hill. The 25 cars on the preliminary entry list are the most for an ARCA Menards Series platform race at Dover Motor Speedway since 2016. Now, again, it's only been a couple times now that it's been a combination event.
Okay. Now, there will be 2 5-minute breaks for teams to change tires and add fuel and make adjustments and or repairs. And those will happen at or around laps 50 and lap 100. Now, teams are not required to pit at that time, but the 2 breaks are the only times that teams can pit and add fuel without a penalty.
And William Sawalich holds the ARCA Menards Series track qualifying record at Dover Motor Speedway, set in 2023 at 22.248 seconds, or 161.812 miles per hour. I was kind of hoping to see him on the entry list. He's been doing some additional running and getting his confidence back, picking up a win. But if he's already good at Dover, maybe that's best that he doesn't.
He's good there, obviously. Connor Zilic holds the ARCA Menards Series track race record at Dover Motor Speedway, and that was set back in 2023 at 84.879 miles per hour.
Now, you mentioned the General Tire 150 will be televised live on FS1 starting at 5 p.m. Eastern on Friday, July 18th. And the race will be broadcast live on select affiliates of the MRN radio network nationwide, as well as streamed on MRN.com. You can also follow live timing and scoring data. It's available on ARCARacing.com. And for up-to-the-minute updates, you can follow ARCA_racing on X, which is formerly known as Twitter.
Did you want to cover the points report?
All right. I am going to start with the East Series since that one's loaded. Isaac Kitzmiller mentioned having a 6-point lead over Tyler Reif. Now, here's a interesting thing. Max Reeves is in the 3rd spot, already down a race. He's only got 3 starts, but they've all been 3 wins. So he was 8 points back. Zachary Tinkle -10, Takuma Koga -14, and then 6th place Austin Vaughn was -25. So tight battle there, but one of those I don't believe I remember seeing Max Reeves on the entry list. So that will change things up there. Yeah, I am not seeing Max Reeves. No, because he's been running that number 18, and that's where Brent Crews is. So interesting situation there. Again, we knew he was part-time, but so that points battle up top, still primarily between Kitzmiller and Reif then at 6 points apart, but Zachary Tinkle at 10 and Takuma Koga only 14 back could get in the mix. And again, talking about having 25 on the entry list could be a major factor when it comes to that. On the main ARCA Menards side, we got Brenden Queen, again, 9 points up on Wallace Allen, 17 over Lavar Scott. And it is about them 3 because Jason Kitzmiller in 4th is 80 points back. Fifth, Isabella Robusto, is minus 106. So that one really is down to the 3. And this is where I said I wanted to talk about some of the notes we had there of drivers that didn't have the experience. I was giving the advantage to Lawless Alan. I really thought either in the Xfinity or trucks, he would have had some experience. And he says that he doesn't in any series. Lavar Scott is the one that actually has experience. So that'll be interesting. Brenden Queen, we've seen the speed he has on your bigger open tracks, Kansas, Michigan, Daytona. We'll see how he handles Dover. It's a different, I'd say beast, but I got to say monster. It's a different monster. There you go. Exactly. So that I think is interesting.
So far, it doesn't seem like Brenden Queen, it matters whether he's ever raced on those tracks or not. He still can go out there and win, even though he may not have raced on those tracks previously. And I would say, I'm not sure about Lawless Alan. Maybe in previous years, that might not have been the case, but this year, it seems like it could be the case for him as well.
Well, and you're right. And that's what tells you what a great driver and team that they have is, can you adapt and overcome? When looking at the top 2, Lavar Scott's line, stat line, a little bit different. But Brenden Queen, the only advantage he really has is the 3 wins versus 1 to Lawless Alan. They both have 7 out of 9 top 5s and top 10s. Brenden Queen does have 2 poles to Lawless Alan's 1. Laps led, I guess there it's a little lopsided as well. Brenden Queen 391, Lawless Alan 76, Lavar Scott 28. But what I'm looking at is that they've both been top 5s. Brenden Queen's just a little bit better as far as the win column. So, and that's why we're talking about 9 points. So that's going to be interesting here. We'll look at the average start for Queen is 4.1, Lawless Alan 4.3, Lavar Scott 6. Interesting here, though, average finish. It's reverse order. Brenden Queen, your top points is 6.0. Lawless Alan is 5.8. Lavar Scott has the best average finish of 5.2. So that's kind of an interesting, it's reversed as far as points. So yeah, it's going to be, and that's just for the main ARCA Menards Series. Now you're talking about having the East Series. They also have some drivers, no experience at Dover. Yeah, we might see a monster eat up some cars.
It really does favor the veterans. I will say Dover is a track that favors people who've raced there before. Now, despite being a mile in length, what separates Dover, though, from other tracks is the corners that are banked at 24 degrees. Precision and care are imperative to navigate the self-cleaning banking, as one wrong move could not only end one driver's day, but take out several others as well. So drivers really work hard at trying to avoid that kind of chaos on the track. Sometimes it's unavoidable, though.
And again, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it's corner number 4 onto the front stretch, but it might be off the 2 onto the back stretch. One of those 2 corners, as you come onto the straightaway, they said it's equivalent to a 3 to 4 story drop. I mean, that you come off like on a roller coaster and just drop down, and then the car sets and you go again. They said it, or like for me, I think of it as a jet getting launched off an aircraft carrier. Right. You push it, slingshots you out, you're floating for a minute, then the jet fires and you take off. You just kind of have that momentary like, what are we doing? Okay, we're going.
Yeah. It'll be a fun race to watch, and I hope fans do tune in for it, especially with it being available on Fox Sports 1. That always widens the audience number there.
Most certainly. And then on top of that, you got the fact that we didn't see some of the ones I thought maybe we would see from the Xfinity or Cup side or truck series that occasionally make starts. They are in the area, so that's a stage for them to be seen by Xfinity and Cup Series drivers as well as owners. Because a lot of times these guys, it's drivers that go to their owner and say, hey, you see this kid? I watched him. Go get him. Go sign him.
Okay, so who's your pick for this weekend?
Man, like I said, this one, like I thought Lawless Alan, but I thought he had the experience, and he really doesn't. you hit it. A Brenden Queen just does seem to be able to adapt really quick. But you also got to look at the 18 Joe Gibbs Racing of Brent Crews. And I
Yes.
say that because although it's dirt, he's used to the shorter tracks and that kind of find the grip mentality. Man, I'm going to go with Brent Crews. And what just tipped it in that favor is that was William Sawalich's ride in the ARCA
Yes.
Menards Series. We saw what he could do with that car. So I'm going to go with Brent, upset all the points series leaders.
Well, I think that's an excellent pick. If you hadn't taken him, I was going to take him. So I will say I'm going to go with Brenden Queen. I think, even though he hasn't.
I think that's the other one. Yeah, no,
I'm between him and Lavar Scott, actually.
See, now there again, I would have thought Lavar Scott maybe did have some, having come through the East Series, but apparently not. I get back. Lavar Scott is the one that had a little bit. Lawless Allen is my thought.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. I'll tell you that. Now, what makes that even more interesting, assuming, and this is an assumption, that the main ARCA Menards Series drivers are the one battling for the win, Isaac Kitzmiller and Tyler Reif. They're just battling for position, but it's still a separate points battle for the East Series. So then it's just a matter of where they battle within the track.
Keep in mind, they said that the winner, whoever does win, will be credited for those points in both series. So that would not necessarily mean that what they've done in the past is the highest finishing East driver would be credited with a win. Now they're saying
I think that was too. I think that got too confusing.
Yeah. So whoever wins this race is going to be credited with those points in both series. So that's a little bit different than what we've seen in the past. Okay.
Well, I'll go back to this. I don't know where the race was at, and I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, but I'm not. Brent Crews has one East Series start, and he has one victory. So that gives me a little bit more confidence with him. But again, I don't know what track that was at.
No, he's a good pick. He's definitely a great pick. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and move on now. Do watch for more. We will be doing previews as well for the Xfinity Series and the Cup Series that are racing this weekend out at Dover. And on Friday, we'll get together with Taz, Jay, and myself, and we'll do round 4 in-season challenge preview for this weekend at Dover as well. I think this has a chance of really kind of being interesting as well, with Dover being the type of track that it is.
Yeah, for looking at it, and I was thinking about it today because I was listening to Sirius XM, some of their discussion. It's a David versus Goliath, and in this case, the Goliath is also part of the track, the Monster Mile. So we'll talk about that on Friday. I got a lot of good things. I know we said it might be short because it's only now 2 matchups, 4 drivers. But I think we can have some good discussion. It might still be a good show with some lengthy discussion.
I thought last week would be shorter, and we still went an hour. So it'll be interesting for sure. But we also have to say and want to say thank you to everybody for tuning in. We really appreciate each and every one of you. And we will look forward to seeing everybody in that next video, Jay.
And thumbs up. I know we're not quite there, but we're approaching the 100 subscribers. I think we're at 72, I think is what we had Monday night. So we're climbing. We're at
74 now, Jay.
Oh, there we go. See, we got 2 more this week. Good deal.
So, yeah, it is climbing. So thank you to everybody who is subscribing and liking our videos and commenting. We really appreciate it. So with that, we'll move on to the next video, everybody. Take care.
All right.